Have you ever wondered what would happen if life's harshest rule, time, was suddenly bent? Imagine waking up one morning, knowing you will live for at least 300 more years, and that your aging stops precisely at 30. What would you do? This is not merely a sci-fi dream, but a new reality, where you possess a second life extending 2.5 centuries. This relative immortality brings a feeling of endless freedom, yet also an unthinkable burden on every social system we have ever known. The question is, will infinite time strip meaning from every moment, or will it force us to redefine our own purpose in life? Let's explore the world after this temporal shift. When life extension technology abruptly emerged, the world was initially immersed in euphoria. At 30, you felt like you had won the time lottery, with ageless skin and peak health lasting hundreds of years. The first feeling was liberation from the pressure to rush into a career or marriage. You watched those who were biologically 70 or 80 now return to the vibrant appearance of 30, beginning to learn new languages and travel the globe. Peaceful towns like your meadow village, where a stream murmurs and sheep graze, suddenly became ideal destinations for a 50-year-long early retirement. The world seemed to be granted a long exhale, a second chance to rectify all mistakes. But that joy quickly gave way to the first cracks in the system. Millions no longer needed to retire, yet many could not find new employment. The job market became a fierce battleground between 30-year-olds with 100 years of experience. Truly, young people under 30 felt their future was blocked by the immortal generation, refusing to vacate their positions. The concept of personal success was stretched to the point of absurdity. A major corporation began requiring applicants to have a detailed career plan for the next 80 years. Even the closest relationships started to waver under the weight of 300 years. The vow of "till death do us part" suddenly became too long, too unimaginable, and too easily broken. You realized that the scariest thing was not death, but the emptiness of having to fill 300 years with meaning. The first and largest conflict lay in the economy and demography. Nations struggled with immediately bankrupt retirement systems, as no one died of old age anymore. Birth rates plummeted because people feared raising a child for 300 years was an unbearable burden. Your peaceful meadow village suddenly became overcrowded, with people fleeing the cities seeking a simple life, driving up land prices. This shift created a new class, those who had accumulated enough wealth in their old life, and the poor trapped in an endless work loop. Psychologically, the concept of midlife crisis was replaced by the century life crisis. At biological age 60, but still looking 30, you felt exhausted after pursuing 5 different careers and 3 PhDs. You looked into the clear stream water, wondering, what is the purpose of working when everything can wait? Governments were forced to enact term limit laws for all positions to create opportunities for those wanting to work. Those with 150 years of experience, however, felt humiliated having to step aside for someone with only 30 years. Furthermore, conflict spread to religion and philosophy as the belief in an afterlife or heaven weakened. Personal relationships became painfully complex. Old friends, after sharing everything for 50 years, decided to pause their relationship for 20 years to seek new experiences. Love was no longer a burning flame, but a long-term contract that could be canceled at any time. You felt lonely in the immortal crowd, where commitment became the ultimate luxury. Golden sunlight reflected on the stream's surface, yet your soul was filled with skepticism about tomorrow. The extra time was not a gift, but a harsh test of persistence. After 150 years of living in chaos and skepticism, a spiritual shift began to emerge in society. You no longer sought great careers or eternal love, but rather stillness. You returned to the meadow village, where time moved slower to the rhythm of grazing sheep. Humans began to realize the true value of 300 years was not to do more things, but to *** become *** more people. Courses on forgetting and starting over became more popular than professional degrees. Society developed a new concept called the artistic age, a 50-year phase dedicated solely to creation and self-reflection. You, after 180 years, decided to spend 30 years learning ancient methods of sheep herding and wool weaving. You learned to cherish the small changes, like how the golden sunlight hits the mountainside at sunset. You realized that with infinite time, death was no longer the opponent. Oblivion was the enemy. The purpose of life was no longer to leave a material legacy, but to create meaningful moments preserved by your loved ones. Relationships lasting 30 years became the new standard, and ending a relationship was no longer a failure, but a complete cycle. You recognized the biggest lesson. Time is only meaningful when it has limits. Even if you have 300 years, the event of tomorrow is the only thing that truly exists. People began treating 300 years as 6 times a normal lifespan, each time being a different persona. You started living with the awareness that your 30-year-old appearance was merely a shell for a soul that had weathered centuries. Every wrinkle of the soul hidden beneath the ageless skin became more precious than gold. So, the world of 300-year longevity taught humanity a profound lesson. We began with the belief that infinite time was the key to happiness, but ended with an appreciation for limits. Extended life did not bring perfection, it only clarified the internal imperfections. What truly matters is not the number of years you live, but how many times you bravely died to be reborn as a new person. The Greek philosopher Epicurus once said, "Death is nothing to us, for when we are, death is not, and when death is, we are not." In this world, that quote rings even truer. Living 300 years does not change that truth. We were forced to confront our own infinity and seek meaning in the recurring cycle of beginnings and endings. That is the shift from quantitative to qualitative, from what must I do to who do I want to become. Ultimately, the 300-year gift was not immortality, but a large mirror magnifying every choice we make. Thank you for exploring this shift of meaning with us. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts. If you had 300 years, what would you dedicate your first 30 years to? Please comment below.